Hello everyone, welcome to a little impromptu quick video today. I thought we'd do something festive, maybe for the front of a Christmas card. I mean, you could do it smaller and use it for gift tags. Just a fun little one, this one. 4 colours I've mixed up: Prussian blue, and I've mixed up a really kind of light watery wash. I've got the same colour, just thicker, a thicker mix. I have got a thin wash of New Gamboge and a slightly darker colour, and that is it. 4 colours. We are going to use a bit of masking fluid just for ease of things. I have drawn a faint circle on my piece of paper, and this is 100% cotton paper, cold press, and I just used my masking tape and drew a simple circle like that. You could use anything, do it as big as you want or as small as you want. I've actually masked this. This is a block, and I have masked off a 6-inch square. I've got a 6-inch square that side as well, just so I can fold it. I trim the end off, fold it in half, make it into a nice card. So just something really nice and quick today. So I'm going to be using my masking fluid. I'm just going to pop that around the outside of the circle. Using my silicone tools, I'm just going to go around the edge of this one. Just right up against the edge of the circle on the outside. A bit squashed for space today. This was not planned. I just thought it might be a nice little video to do. I'm actually making this card for my mum, who I'm going to see next week. She lives in London and I live in Wales, so I don't see her very often. And I thought that would be a nice little card to make for her. I was just going to give her one of the ones that we made for the Christmas fair, you know, but I thought, what the heck, let's just make a special one. So I'm going to go all the way around the outside with that. And this is just going to make it a bit easier. I'm being a bit lazy, really. I don't want to be worried about going outside the edge of the circle. And it does need to be quite accurate, this circle, for this to work, I think. And I'm kind of making this up as I go along, so bear with me, it could all go wrong. Luckily I do have the power of editing. I can't go live at the moment because I don't have enough subscribers or watch hours or whatever it is that YouTube wants. As soon as I can, I will be going live, and then you can see all the oopsies happening in real time. But for now, just going around, make sure I've got a quite nice layer of that on there. I think that will do. That's as far out as you need to go, really. Just give that a wipe off on my trusty cloth over there. Okay, we just need to wait for that to dry, but I will tell you in the meantime what I'm doing. I'm going to be turning this into a bauble, you've probably guessed. And I thought it might be quite nice to do a particular colour bauble, in my case blue. You could make this whatever colour you want. You could put whatever details you want on there. You don't need to do exactly the same one, but hopefully it might even just spark your imagination a little bit as to what you can do. This should just be a have fun, honestly. Shouldn't take too long. This is probably the longest part of the whole thing. It's waiting for this masking fluid to be dry. So we will be back once it's dry and we get on with it. I'm back. I'm not sure that's quite dry yet, so while that's still drying, I will tell you a little bit of exciting news. I'm thinking on the channel I might do a kind of vlogmas. This will be the first year. I did a previous channel and I did do a vlogmas on there. It was great fun, and I'm just thinking some quick paintings, watercolours, maybe a bit of acrylic, maybe a bit of mixed media. You know, I don't really know yet. I'm going to plan it all out tomorrow, but I'd like to do as many videos as I can in the run up to Christmas, including what's going on with me, because I've got some news there. I've actually had my brain scan now. I've got some news with that as well. And we still haven't put up our Christmas decks yet, because we have been doing the other sort of decorating. Yes, I know, crazy, this close to Christmas, but we've actually been decorating the living room. We thought we'll just do it before we put the decorations up. And we spent all weekend doing it. When I say we, my partner's done most of it. But I just thought that might be quite fun to do some little paintings, all Christmas related, of course. And I'll do a bit to camera. If you want to see that, hit the subscribe button. You'll get a little notification. If you make sure you hit the little bell, that will just ensure that you see everything that comes up. But yeah, I thought that would be good fun. So yeah, if you're interested, hit the subscribe button. And if you don't mind, at the end of this, of course, I don't expect you to do it now, but at the end of this, if you enjoyed this video, give me a bit of a thumbs up as well, because that always helps. So without further ado, I think we'll be all right, because I'm not intending on going over the masking fluid. It's just to stop me going over the edges, because I'm being lazy. So brushes today, I am using a large brush to put a wash over the whole thing. I've got a liner brush. This is a number 10 graduate brush. That's to put a line across the middle. I've got a smaller round brush, number 3. I've got my trusty spotter brush for the small details. I think I was just using that for mixing, so we'll put that one back. So just those, and of course I've got my Princeton number 6, which is my favourite one because of the lovely tip on it. So it's not going to be anything too difficult. I'm sure all of you could do this. And like I said, you don't have to do it in the colours that I'm doing it. I just happen to like the old cups with the blue and white. I absolutely love that. In fact, when I was a cake decorator, I did a whole hand-painted, I'll pop a picture up if I can find it. I did a whole hand-painted willow pattern on a cake. It was fab. And I did a little china cup made out of sugar that went on the top. It was really great. It was one of my favourite cakes. It took a while to paint, but it was absolutely lovely. But yeah, that was the inspiration for this bauble. I'm pretty sure my mum enjoys the willow pattern and the blue and white china. So I just thought that's what I'm going to go with. So to start our lovely bauble, I've got this really thin wash of blue. I'm pretty sure this is Prussian blue. I might be wrong, but I mean, you could use any blue that you've got. This is Winsor & Newton. These are professional ones, but any watercolours, whatever you normally use, don't worry about it. And I'm just going to give this bauble a light wash over with this. It's going to dry lighter anyway, but I don't want it to be too dark because we're going to build the pattern on top. But I do want to be able to see the edges of the bauble. And I thought if I just put it onto white and pattern it, when we come to erase the pencil at the end, you might not see, you know, the edges of the bauble. So I thought if I give it a light wash with this really light blue, that is going to help a lot. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a bit more than that on there. I'm just going to go over the whole bauble with this lovely light wash. I'm going to go too mad over the masking fluid because I'm not sure it's quite dry yet. She says as she goes over the masking fluid. So there we go. And just going to rinse and dab off on my cloth. And I'm going to make sure that I've not got any puddles anywhere. That's better. And that really shouldn't take too long to dry. I've picked up some of that masking fluid. Like, see, this is the good thing, isn't it, about going impromptu. I've managed, don't do that, I've managed to pick up a little bit of the masking fluid there. Okay, so I'm going to get my hairdryer out to give that a dry quickly. But while we're here, I'm going to wash out my brush. And I'm just going to dry it off. I've got a cloth. I'm not sure if it's in shot or not. I'm just drying that off. And I'm just going to lift some of that. Do it once more. Just over one side. We don't have to do this. I just wanted to give it a kind of more of a you know, a round 3D look. So there we go. Let's get the hairdryer out and give that a dry off, and that's going to dry even lighter. Now, I wouldn't normally put the hairdryer on it because it's got masking fluid on it, but I'm going to try and be really careful. Right, I'll give that a quick dry. There we go. It's not quite dry, but it's good enough. Okay, so my idea for this is I want to kind of divide it up to start with. Now you could measure it, you know, and divide it, make a little mark. I'm just going to eyeball it. So with my liner brush, I'm going to pick up some of that darker colour, and I'm just going to make sure there's not too much on there. And I'm going to put a line across this to divide it up into sections, but we don't want to put a straight line because we want this to look 3D-ish, and it's not going to look very, very 3D. But we do want to give it some shape. So I am going to just take my liner brush and I'm just going to put a mark with a slight curve doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, mine's not. I'm not worried at all. Like that. And I'm going to put one just above it. So we're kind of putting a band across to divide this bauble up. Like that. That's better. There we go. Right, okay, so that's divided that up. And now I'm going to take my trusty number 6. I'm going to take some more of that blue, and here is where we're going to decide exactly what we're going to do. And I think I'm going to try and find the middle-ish. I'm just going to put kind of like a half circle in there. Oh, my masking fluid wasn't very accurate there. Never mind, I can fill that in after. And then I think we're going to do a bit of a floral pattern. So I'm going to go up like this and make a petal shape like that. And I'm going to do another one next to it. Let's just move my brush jar out of the way. And do another one here. Same sort of shape if you can. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Done is better than perfect, remember. Like that. And I'm going to do the same thing the other side. And next to that, I'm just going to give kind of an indication of half of a petal. Kind of like that. Can't believe that that's gone so wonky on that masking fluid there. I want these to be dark enough, so I'm just going over those again. I do want them to be quite dark. There we go, that's better. Fab. And now I'm going to, what are we going to do now? Let's have a think. I will maybe take my smaller brush. Pop that one there a minute because I've loaded that up now. I'm going to take my number 3 brush and same colour. And I am going to pop the same shape just in between there. Like that. Let's drop a bit more colour in there. And same thing over here. Make that one slightly bigger. There we go. And I do go over them again because again I want them quite dark. There we go. And same colour again. This is pretty boring colour-wise, but it'll give it the nice effect at the end. And I think, what should we do here? Let's do a swirl. So bit of a swirl there. And we'll do the same thing over this side. Where have we come out? We've come out between these two. So we're going to go and over like that. Make this one a bit thicker. like that. And then I think I'll just put some little random circles in that space, just where there's no. Put a little one there and a little one there. And one there. Just trying to pick up some from there because that was quite thick on there. There we go. And then I'm going to take my teeny tiny spotter brush and I'm going to go in the same colour. And I'm just going to add some smaller spots. One in the middle, why not? So we got one in the middle, and then we're going okay. Now I've actually put them in, I'm going to go over them again. Just make them a little bit darker and a little bit rounder. I always think this is quite a good exercise to do if you've got a bit of artist block going on. Just doodle with your paintbrush. It's great fun. No plan, just crack out your paints and doodle. And I was doodling in my sketchbook earlier. It's not something I often do, I have to be honest. And I was just messing about, singing the song of, you know, the 12 Days of Christmas, Partridge in a Pear Tree and all that. And I was doodling as I was singing. I think I got as far as 5 gold rings. And then I can't remember what happened, but I got interrupted and stopped there. But I might continue that. It was good fun. Just a pencil and sketchbook. So that's that there. And I'm going to add a couple in there as well, just to fill the space. Go right up to that little petal. And how many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, try and get it as symmetrical as you can, in as much as put the same amount of spots or swirls or whatever your design ends up being. Just make sure that you put the same amount on each part that you do, as if there's a mirror, you know. So now I think, shall we do, I'm quite liking the spots, I have to be honest. I feel like there's a gap here, so I'm just going to put in kind of half circle there. Just go over that again because that's a bit light. That's better. And same thing on this side. Just feel like there was a little bit of space there. I didn't want it as full of pattern as I can, you know. Okay. And in the middle here, I think, maybe some stripes. Let's do some stripes. So I'll start with one in the middle, and at least we know we're kind of in the middle for that, and just do them equally spaced. Following the curve. Like that, yeah, like that. There we go. Right, now for this next part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a really faint pencil line in, and I will erase it afterwards. And there is a reason. I want a kind of guide, because I kind of know what I want to do here. I'm not going to be brave and eyeball it. Well, I am going to eyeball it, but I'm not going to not do some guidelines. So coming from the middle, which is this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line going up to there, okay? And then just eyeballing it this side, roughly the same. So we've drawn a big V shape, okay? Don't do it too heavy. This is an H pencil, so this is really, really light, okay? And now I am going to go about, is that about an inch? About an inch. And I'm going to follow this line and go up there like that, and the same thing again. I'm going to go up there like that, and then a tiny one there maybe, and then this side I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come down there like that. I'm not sure I can fit another one in there. And then this way we're going to do the same thing, so we're going to come up this way about an inch, and I'm going to go that way, and there. And I'm really not pressing hard, I'm just really gently marking this in, and that's going to give us a bit of a grid as to where the next things are going to go. Okay, so taking my number 3 back into the dark blue, and wherever these cross over, we are going to start by putting a circle. So we want one there, one there. Try to get them all the same size, unlike me. If you can, get them all the same size. I mean, you could even, I suppose, use if you've got a little stencil, you could use that if you really want them accurate, or you could just dot them on with a cotton bud, or, you know, anything that's sort of size, if you're not confident about drawing the little circles. But it's not difficult, as long as you just go over with the X marks the spot, and wherever it's a half, I should just do a little half circle like that. And up here, it's always better to start smaller, if anything, and then work your way out. Then you'll find that they won't get too large. And another one here. like that. And we're just going to repeat this wherever you see the X. Like that. There's almost a full one there. There's a full one there. You can always go back over them and darken them like we did here, and darken them down a bit once you've actually got them in. And that's a kind of a bit of one on that side. And this will be just a little bit half of one there. And the tiniest bit of one there. Maybe a slither there. That one will be a half. It's not quite a half, is it? Because I've put one there. I need to put one there really. So like I said, if you want to go back over and darken those up, you can. Try and keep within the circles that you've made. There we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that. See, these are just really simple little shapes. And you could go as crazy, you know, as you want really. Now, I think I'm switching to a slightly smaller brush because I feel like the one I was using was too big. But I'm coming back into that dark blue. Now, you might find this is a bit fiddly. You might want to not do this. I just want to do this, so you don't have to do this. I just want to go around each of these little circles with, they're not meant to be flowers, so I don't want to call them petals, but they are kind of petal shaped. Okay. So I'm just going to go around each one, just putting these little petals in. I might speed this up a bit because this might be a bit boring for you to watch. Why is that being so difficult? Right, I'm going to go back to my spotter and try with that. It's not much easier, to be honest. I've just realised I've got a really loud, crackly candle next to me on the table. So if you could hear a crackle and a pop, it's not my breakfast cereal, it's my candle. It's one of those with a crackly wick. I think it's meant to sound like a crackling fire. I mean, it's lovely to listen to, but I've just realised that I'm recording with it on. So that's what it is. And of course, the puggle snoring happily in the background as per usual. So we're almost there. And there we go. Now, it's not perfect, but it's not meant to be. It's hand-painted. It's not machine-made. And we all make mistakes, and we all make bits thicker than others. But that's the fun of doodling, isn't it? There we go. I'm just going to darken that one up because that one is very light. Okay. And then I think, just to finish it off, in the middle of each kind of, it's like a diamond, I suppose, isn't it? Diamond shape. Just going to put a little circle. Just to fill a bit more of that space. There'll be a little half one there. And then when we erase the lines at the end, we'll have a lovely, pretty little design on there. I mean, it's not great, but it's impromptu, isn't it? So I think there would be one there. I've got a bit of masking fluid there. I'm going to have to touch that up like I did. Like I'm going to have to do down the bottom there, where I was a bit off with the masking fluid. So try and get those all pretty much the same size, and what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to say darkness. That's not the word I'm looking for. It'll come to me in a minute. There. So, for the most part, unless you want to add any more or touch anything up, I'm just going to straighten that line up because that wasn't particularly straight there. That is the little design on that part done, anyway. There we go. That'll do for now. And we just want that to dry. It shouldn't take too long. I'm going to give mine a whiz with a hairdryer. And there we go for that. Now I'm going to carefully remove my masking fluid. And don't forget, when you do this, always bring it in to your picture in case you rip anything. Let me just take that off of there. Now there you go, see, just that was a bit of masking fluid that had gone over. And I've got a splodge that's gone over there as well. We will try and fix that. Although this is the worst colour to try and lift, I have to be honest. We will have a go. There are ways. There we go. Fab. So just where I've made an oopsie, I'm just going to take some of that lighter blue and I'm just going to fill that. I think I've got a bit of masking fluid actually on the... Yes, I do. Right, let's try that again. Fill that in there. I'm sure no one's going to notice that. And just this little bit at the end there, I'm going to try and level that off. There we go, that's a bit better. And where is my... There it is, my trusty... I'm not going to use that blue water there because it will turn my picture blue. So we're not going to do that. We will, however, do this. And as you can see, you do not need to worry about oopsies. Because I make them all the time. There's a little oopsie there. I'll just get rid of that as well. Right, so that is better. Now, I'm not going to even attempt to erase those at the moment. So, taking my pencil, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to very carefully, she says, put a little top on this bauble. So just a little square shape, kind of like that on the top. And then I'm going to divide it in the middle. And I'm going to divide it again there. And then I'm going to come just over the edge of our bauble with little curved lines. Okay, like that. Then I'm going to give it a bit of a loop on the top, like that. And then, of course, we need a little piece of gold thread or something to hang it up on the tree. So that's our top of our bauble. There we go. Now I'm just going to lighten that up with my, whoops, with my kneadable eraser. Just going to lighten that up a little touch. Not too worried about it, but if you're happy with the pencil showing, you can always go over and erase it afterwards. Right, okay, so taking finally my number, I'll take my number 3, and I am going to pick up some of this New Gambuge colour, the lighter wash, and I'm just going to go over the whole thing with that lovely golden colour. Like that, including the little loop on the top. And I'm going to rinse my brush out for a second, and I am going to dry it off, and then just going to lift some of that off of one side. I'm going to rinse and dry again, and just going to lift just a touch of that off of there, like that. And then while it's wet, I'm going to go into this darker colour, and I am just going to drop some of that over one side, kind of like that. Lift that middle part off because I don't want that to be too dark, like that. And I'll put a little touch on the edge of there as well. And then using the same colour, I'm just going to put those little lines in that I made, just to give it a bit more shape on the top there. And then, what colour string shall we do? Right, let's go back into the dark blue for now. And I'm just going to add a really, really fine little string that goes under the little loop, like that. Fab. And now I think I'm going to be brave enough to rub those lines out, so I'm going to kind of get rid of those. I mean, they're barely there anyway, but I don't really want... I mean, you could leave them in and make a feature of them, I suppose, but I'm just going to rub mine out. And also, the outside edge of our initial circle, I'll take the line off of there as well. I'm going to darken the bottom of that up because I'm not happy with that. Everything else is looking okay. So I'll just get rid of the erasing lines. Yeah, I'm just going to into the, whoops, making a right mess there. I'm just going to go back into that because I'm not happy with that colour. Make that a little bit darker. There we go. You can always touch that up afterwards. I'm going to stop fiddling because I want to show you something extra that I'm going to add to this. I have got these fab acrylic markers. Now, I don't often use these, but on this particular occasion, I think that this will work well. Now, you can, of course, if you have a white gel pen, or if you have some bleed-proof ink, or if you have some white watercolour, all of which I do have. But I remembered that I had these, and these are great. One end is a big blobby rounded end, and the other end is tiny. And I think I just want to add some detail to this. I'm going to go for the small end, and I'm just going to put a little dot in the middle of our blue dots. Just like that. I don't think I've missed any. That's a really quick and easy sheet. And I know a lot of people use these acrylic markers. I can't say I've ever made anything entirely with acrylic marker, but they are quite handy for little details. Okay, and we could even, what could we do here? We could put a little vein up the leaf. Like that. To put a little dot in there. I mean, you literally could carry on, you know, going absolutely bonkers with them. And I also, in here, have a gold. Now, I'm just going to check it on a piece of paper because I'm not sure. Oh, it's a lovely gold. So I'm going to add a touch of that to the little loop, and just to give it a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to add it on there, like that. And like I said, you could go absolutely bonkers with these. I've got a little silver one. We could go over the little tie with a silver. Little silver tie there. I mean, that's it. We're basically finished. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, you could leave it blank. You could really entirely leave it blank. Or you could write Happy Christmas or something like that on there. What I suggest you do is, on your printer, on a piece of plain paper, print out your little greeting, whatever you want to write on it, onto the right size of your card, the front of your card, and then just like you would do when you transfer, colour over the reverse in graphite, and then trace around the letters, and then with your paintbrush, just go over. Really, really simple. It's a really great way. I don't have any printed so that I can show you, unfortunately. Give it a bit of a trim, pop a picture on the screen for you, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now. Bye.